Welcome everybody to FanStream Sports powered by DSP Media. This is the Fighting Irish Daily Blitz, and I'm your host, Rob Fedoff, also known as RPT. You can find me on X at PFedoff. This is episode 136, but first things first, head over to our website at fanstreamsports.com for all additional podcast information. If you have an Apple device or an Android device, please feel free to download the FanStream Sports app. Then head over to our Facebook page, like that page, additional content out there as well. Please feel free to share that with your friends and family. The subject today is the Notre Dame men's basketball team for the 2024-2025 season, where that roster will be. I was going to wait until we knew for sure what the roster would be. However, that could be a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 3, 4, if not 2 months from now. And I didn't want to drag that on any longer. I want to focus as we approach the summer on football, other Notre Dame subjects. So I'm going to, as of May the 8th today, this is where we stand. And also, Notre Dame, I think, is hosting about 2 to 3 kids from the transfer portal this week. And it may take them a week, too, if not longer, to decide. But I want to at least give you what the current staff is right now. But before we do that, I want to kind of do a brief overview of the 2023-2024 season. It was a rebuilding year. We knew it would be that with everybody that was lost either through graduation or left last year after Mike Bray stepped down. It's the Coach Micah Shrewsbury era. And to me, I know the record doesn't say it, but to me, they overexcelled, overachieved, however you want to say it. They went 13-20, 7-13 in the ACC. A lot of people thought they would go 0-20 in the ACC. Further, they actually won a game in the ACC tournament when they beat Georgia Tech. They were up by 20 points that game. Georgia Tech comes back to take the lead. Notre Dame regroups, and then they win that game. Lost to Wake Forest the next game. But to just win one game in the ACC, to me, that speaks volumes. I still think the future is bright for this program. But we still have to set that foundation, and that continues with the 2024-2025 season. First subject matter, before we go over the additions, subtractions, and the incoming class that is, Marcus Burton, star point guard for Notre Dame last year, freshman point guard, the freshman of the year in the ACC. He declared for the NBA draft last month. However, it's not like the old days where if you declare, you cannot come back to college. You can see where you sit with the NBA scouts and where you're projected to be drafted. He has until June the 16th to either decide he's going to continue into the NBA draft or withdraw his name. I'm 99.9999999% sure he will be coming back to Notre Dame. Last week, it was announced who is invited to the NBA Draft Combine. His name was not on there. So if he cannot go to the NBA Draft Combine, he's not going to get drafted, especially in the first round, if not the second round. If you're drafted in the second round, that money's not guaranteed. It would be wise of Marcus Burton to come back to school, fine-tune his skills, and then maybe enter the draft next year. I still think he's a 4-year player because he's so small, but I would be shocked if he does not come back to Notre Dame. And plus the NIL money right there. So that's guaranteed money where the NBA money would not be if he was drafted in the second round. But I would be shocked if he does not come back. All the newspaper articles and online articles, every indication is that he will be coming back to Notre Dame. He just may not make that announcement as soon as we want to. But it's more than likely that Marcus Burton will be back for Notre Dame for the 2024-2025 season. Now, first, let's go into the actual recruits, the traditional recruits that Notre Dame, these aren't portal kids. These are just incoming freshmen for Notre Dame for the 2024-2025 season. I'm just going to say the upcoming season, not keep saying that, be redundant there, 2024-2025. So for the upcoming season, we have 4-star shooting guard. His name is Sir Mohammed. That name sounds familiar. His dad, Nazi Mohammed, played for Kentucky back in the 90s, had a pretty decent NBA career as well. He wasn't a superstar, but a solid NBA career. I think he won a title with the San Antonio Spurs. He is, and I'm not going to say their national ranking. I'm just going to say their position ranking based on rivals.com. And you're going to notice too, as I say their height and weight, these kids got to get in the weight room, either in the weight room or eat some Twinkies. They're a little thin right now. So for Sir Mohammed, he's a shooting guard, 6'6", 200 pounds. He's ranked number 21 based on shooting guard position at rivals.com. He went to Myers Park High School in Charlotte, North Carolina. He averaged 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. And I heard he's a very good prospect. Also, 3-star shooting guard, Cole Serta, 6'5", 175. Definitely has to get in the weight room, eat some Twinkies. He's ranked, based from Rivals.com, for shooting guards, number 41. So Sir Mohammed was 21. Cole Serta is 41. Yes, I got that right. He's at an IMG Academy. That's a pretty good school. 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. So that's pretty good numbers right there. Also coming to Notre Dame for the incoming class is 3-star forward, not listed as a center, but he could be a center with this size, as I say it right here. 6'10", 215 pounds. He has got to get in the weight room too. His name is Garrett Sundra. Rivals ranks him as the 33rd power forward coming in to the upcoming season. He's out of Fairfax, Virginia. Here's the thing. I could not get any stats on this guy at all. I heard he's a great player. The Rivals.com ranking is legit at 33 for power forward, but I could not get any stats on him. It's like, I always have a pop culture reference from time to time. It's like the deleted scenes from the Shawshank Redemption. Director Frank Darabont did not want any deleted scenes ever to get out. I think there is one deleted scene out on YouTube right now, but it's really hush-hush. No one can find them, at least the one on YouTube right now. But for Garrett Sundra, I cannot find any stats for him. However, 6'10", 215, a power forward, and he ranks number 33 from Rivals.com for power forwards in the nation. So those are the incoming freshmen coming in. It's not the Fab Five, but these are solid players that will develop as long as they stay at Notre Dame to lay that continued foundation for Coach Shrewsbury. Now the ones who are leaving Notre Dame, and they enter the transfer portal, and 2 out of the 3, there was 3 total, 2 out of the 3 have found new teams. This was the one that really hurt to me, and as Coach Shrewsbury is trying to build that foundation. So Kerry Booth, 6'10", power forward. He was going to be a sophomore from Notre Dame. He originally committed to Penn State, but once Coach Shrewsbury left Penn State, he came to Notre Dame. He was a top 60 recruit. Last year, he averaged 6 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, 28 minutes. So he's getting playing time. However, he entered the portal. I don't know if it was because of NIL. I highly doubt that, because it wasn't like he was putting up big statistics at Notre Dame, but he left Notre Dame. He's going to Illinois. I know Illinois has a solid program, but that was a head scratcher to me. I thought definitely he was going to be back for Notre Dame. His dad, as I mentioned earlier, he was going to go to Penn State initially. Well, his dad went to Penn State. Calvin Booth had a solid career at Penn State. I think he had a decent career in the NBA as well, because ironically, he's now the general manager for the Denver Nuggets. So he has that family history of being around the game, both collegiately and in the NBA. But to me, I thought Kerry Booth, he wasn't a superstar yet. I always considered him at least right now, a very poor man's Kevin Garnett, because of the body, very tall, lanky, can shoot the 3 fairly decent, has a decent outside game, but also can go inside as well, because like I said, he's 6'10". But that one just was a head scratcher there. But good luck to him. I wish he would have stayed, because that was one of the key components to building this foundation with the Coach Shrewsbury era. Matt Zona, one of the few seniors on the team from last year. He was a graduate, 6'9", 235, an actual center. However, he barely got any points inside. He was actually better shooting the 3-pointer, and he wasn't a great 3-point shooter, but from time to time he could hit that 3. He left, and he's going to Fordham. I've heard Matt's a great kid, but this is not a big loss at all. He was not going to be playing hardly at all. He played maybe 10 minutes a game last year. It's no big loss, maybe for leadership, but for actual production on the court, this is not a big loss at all. Alex Wade, he's a former walk-on, 6', 173 point guard. I always thought he had some decent game when he did get in, which was very, very rarely did he get into a game. But he seemed very, very good athlete, but he knew the writing on the wall. He's probably not going to play in his next, because I think he had 1 more year left. And I think he did earn a scholarship. But he earned a degree for only 3 years at Notre Dame, got that degree. He entered the portal, but he has no team as of this moment that he's going to right now. So he's kind of in limbo of where he's going for his next team for the upcoming season. Don't want to say that 2024, 2025. But here's the thing. As of right now, May the 8th, 2024, Notre Dame has only signed one player from the transfer portal. I said before, they can still sign 2 more players, but that's still to be determined. But this individual, he's actually right down the road from me. I'm in a Columbus, Ohio suburb called Gahanna. He's in a Columbus, Ohio suburb, Hilliard, and he went to Hilliard-Bradley. His name is Matt Alako. Shooting guard, he went to Princeton. He's a Princeton graduate, so this is a pretty smart kid. Shooting guard, 6'4", 197 pounds. He averaged 13 points a game last year, 3 rebounds a game, 3 assists. Here's the numbers I really like. Field goal percentage, 51%. Shooting the 3, 43%. And you know I'm a big free throw percentage guy and limiting your turnovers. He doesn't turn the ball over that much either, but his free throw percentage is 91%. I repeat, 91%. I always like to see in that 80 to 91% range. To me, I know he's not a guy that's going to take over a game like a Marcus Burton, even a Braden Shrewsbury, Tay Davis, but this is a very sound player. If you leave him open, he's probably going to drain that 3. Now, obviously, opponents are going to gear on him to not give him a wide open shot, but I don't think he probably can create his shot very easily like a Marcus Burton or a Braden Shrewsbury. But if he's open, he's going to knock down, at least these stats prove that he's going to knock down those shots. I'm trying to think what I call the old school, stereotypical Notre Dame player, where very good shooter, could not create their shot very well, very sound player, did not turn the ball over that much, but just a very sound player, not a superstar. I think this is who Matt Alako is. And if you want to kind of compare him to other players, let's say a Tim Abromaitis. I'm not certain. Maybe he's not as good as Tim Abromaitis, but if you kind of want to just have a comparison, like a Tim Abromaitis, Steve Astoria, Colin Falls, that type of player, that's who I think we're getting with Matt Alako right now. And I think it's a very, very solid pickup. I would like to have a big right now, 2 bigs right now. Maybe that'll be our 2 signees down the road. But this really, as good as, I shouldn't say as good, as promising as we looked last year, shooting the ball at times, especially Braden Shrewsbury, even Marcus Burton. At times they look like Steph Curry. At times they look like Chubby from Teen Wolf. The movie Teen Wolf from 1985, starring Michael J. Fox. Chubby made 1 shot that entire movie. He also was in that, I think his name's Mark, what's his real name? Mark Francis, or no, Mark Holt. I think his name's Mark Holton. Mark Holton, that is his name in real life. But he was also the actor, as I do my pop culture reference here as well. He was also Francis in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He stole Pee-wee's bike, but that's that character I'm referring to there. As I said, they could look like Steph Curry at times last year, but they also could look like Chubby from Teen Wolf. But I think with Matt Alako, he really shores that up right there, because if you leave him open, he's going to drain that 3. But I think too, it's going to be tough for him to create his own shot. Just looking at some film for him, if you set some screens for him and just kind of play off that, this is going to be a very good pickup, in my opinion, for Notre Dame. But that's the only pickup right now as we speak. So I repeat, Matt Alako, Princeton graduate, very good shooter, does not turn the ball over, great 3-point shooter, and great free throw percentage as well. So here we go. As I did with the girls team, as we sum up right here, I'm just going to show you what we have coming back for this team next year. As I said earlier, Marcus Burton, I'm assuming right now Marcus Burton's coming back. If he does not come back, if he does not come back, I would be shocked. He's not going to go to any NBA combine. I'm assuming Marcus Burton's coming back. Point guard, he'll be a sophomore. Averaged 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists last year. He is our superstar right now. And he's Mr. Indiana or Mr. Basketball, whatever you want to call that. And I still think he's a 4-year player. He can do really good things at Notre Dame. I say just come back, get that NIL money, and just continue to improve. And who knows, maybe you will be an NBA draft pick at some point. Braden Shrewsbury, said earlier, he could shoot like Steph Curry at times, or he could shoot like Chubby from Teen Wolf at times. He had 6'3" shooting guard, 10 points a game, 2 rebounds a game, 1 assist a game. I'd like to get those assists up for him. He'll be a sophomore as well. Tay Davis, 6'9" forward, averaged 9 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist a game. He'll be a junior. J.R. because I can never get this name. J.R. Knesny. Yes, Jair Knesny. 6'7" shooting guard. That's a tall shooting guard right there. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist per game. Technically he'll be a senior next year, but he sat out 1 year. It was either 2 years ago. I think more or less he'll be a redshirt junior. I think he has 2 years left of eligibility. And last year, at one point, he was the second best player on the team. But injuries have been his Achilles heel. No pun intended there. For his time at Notre Dame. And like I said before, he was the second best player up until midway through the year. And then he's maybe playing 10 to 15 minutes a game. He just has to stay healthy. Julian Roper will be a senior next year. I think he'll be the only true senior next year. He was the transfer from Northwestern last year, 6'4" guard, 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per game were his averages. To me, Julian Roper is more or less a role player, more of a defender. He has to be wide open to take a shot to even have a chance. Not the greatest shooter, but again, it's a body out there. Keba Jai, 6'10", power forward, but he's playing the center position because we have zero depth for the inside game right now. That's why for these next 2 portal kids, I want it to be a true center or another power forward that can play center. 6'10", forward center. He averaged only 4 points a game last year and only 5 rebounds, but a solid role player, and a really good free throw shooter as well. Logan Imes, another shooting guard, 6'4", can also play the point at times also. 2 points, 2 rebounds a game. He'll be a sophomore. Tony Sanders, he actually could come back. He was the other senior with Matt Zona last year, but he's not going to play. He only maybe averaged, I think he had, not even average. I don't even think he had 10 minutes total playing time last year. He's not going to be back. Plus the 3 recruits, plus the 1 transfer with Matt Alako. And who else? That's 11 guys. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 10 plus Matt Alako. That's 11 guys right there. And if you get the 2 portal kids, that's 13. More than enough kids right there. I didn't even tell you all the walk-ons we had last year because we had to have those walk-ons or we couldn't practice at all. And those kids, maybe 1 or 2 will still be on the team. I highly doubt more than that. But as of right now, we have 11 guys, and that includes Matt Alako from Princeton from the transfer. But as you can see, we got to get the size with these 2 kids. And maybe it takes another year for Coach Shrewsbury to put a product out there to get more recruits to come in that are bigger, more transfer portal kids. Because right now, I was expecting to at least have 1 big guy in the middle from the transfer portal. We just don't have that right now. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that's it right there. That's a 2024-2025 preview. Once we get those 2 other kids, hopefully it's 2 other kids that do sign. They can sign at least 2 more. I will report on that on another podcast. But I still think the future is bright for this program. It just may take another year to get that product out there. But the key was for Marcus Burton to come back, and I'm assuming he is coming back. If he's, like I said, I would be shocked if he does not come back. And like I said, I've been pronouncing that the transfer's name, Matt Alako. That's his name, Matt Alako. At first, I was just like, another shooting guard. But then once I start getting into the statistics, he's going to be hopefully like a Colin Falls or a Tim Abramitis. I don't think he can create his own shot or take over a game. But if you need a guy to knock down that 3, hit a really big free throw at the end, he's the guy that's going to be able to do that. And it's just, I can't just say it enough. It's just a very solid pickup for Notre Dame's program right now. But thank you so much for joining me for episode 136. And as always, go Irish.